Never in my life have I seen a movie that made me cry. Until now. Hey everybody, welcome to another rewatch review, and today I will be reviewing Her. Yes, this came out in the year 2013, and was written and directed by Spike Jonze, the director of films such as Being John Malkovich, Adaptation, which I've also reviewed for the channel. Go check out if you haven't already, and Where the Wild Things Are, as well. And he's also the director of a bunch of music videos from the 90s and early 2000s. Like, he's done videos for the Beastie Boys and Bjork, Weezer, Fatboy Slim. He's done a bunch. And I believe he was also the co-creator of Jackass, I think. Or he had something to do with it. It's that much I know. And this movie stars Joaquin Phoenix, Amy Adams, Rooney Mara, Olivia Wilde, and Scarlett Johansson. Alright, so yeah, I have seen, this is a rewatch review, so I have seen this movie a little while back. I don't know. There's been a few times where this was back at my old house. At my old house, I didn't have any internet. But sometimes, I would go to my cousins, and he had internet, and there's been times where they would be out of town, and I would stay over there, dog sitting for them, and I would stay the night, and I didn't have internet at my house, so I didn't have Netflix, but they had Netflix, and I watched some movies on Netflix over there a few times, and one of those movies was Her. I wanted to check it out because I've heard good things about it. I wasn't too familiar with Spike Jonze. I knew about his music videos. I always liked his music videos. I think that was the main thing I knew about him. The only other movie before then that I seen was Where the Wild Things Are whenever I was a kid. But I didn't see Being John Malkovich or Adaptation yet. So I didn't really know much about him. But I've heard about this movie, Her. I actually heard about it when it came out, or whenever it was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. I think is whenever I heard about it. And that was even before I was a big movie buff. But my mom would always get Entertainment Weekly, and I would always look at the movie stuff in there, and I heard about this movie, Her, and I heard that it was I read about the story, and I thought that was kind of weird, but also interesting. So, and also, I was, a little bit later, but I was getting into Joaquin Phoenix. I saw a movie of his, a very underrated movie, too. Check it out if you haven't already. It's called Clay Pigeons, and it is a dark comedy that came out in the late 90s, 1998, I think, which was the year I was born. And it also has Vince Vaughn and Janine Garofalo. Really underrated movie, and it's hilarious, too. Vince Vaughn is the best part about that movie. He's not really a great actor to begin with. When he does comedy, he's pretty good. Most of the time, anyways. But as an actor, he's kind of eh. Yeah, but he was actually really good in this, in Clay Pigeons, and he was hilarious in that movie, too. Check that movie out if you haven't already. I think it might be on Amazon Prime. If it's not, try searching it on something else. It could be streaming anywhere, really. But it's a really underrated movie, and I highly recommend it. Anyways, that was my first exposure to Joaquin Phoenix. I really liked him in that movie. And I wanted to see more of him. And that was before Joker came out. So, I heard about her, and I wanted to check it out. Um, so I did once, whenever I was dog sitting for my aunt and my cousin while they were out of town. But yeah, I saw it on Netflix, and I didn't really think much of it, honestly. I remember thinking it was a good movie, but beside that, I don't know. I just don't really have any memory of it, really. And or at least of I mean, I remember the movie, but I don't remember like how I thought about it. Like, I think I just thought, just like I said, I thought it was a good movie, but I didn't really think much of it other than that. I just thought it was meh, you know. But as years went by, as I became more in, as I got more into film and stuff, and I saw Being John Malkovich an adaptation. I thought they were both great films, so I was like, maybe I should watch Her again. And I bought Her on DVD along with a bunch of other movies, including The Breakfast Club, which was my last review. And I gotta say, I think this is a masterpiece. This is a fantastic movie. By the way, if I feel like I'm tired or whatever, that's because I am. Had a long night last night. Yeah, but and I actually meant to do this yesterday, but I kept fucking up on recording this review. So because I actually saw this just a few nights ago, but just like 2 nights ago. But anyways, I'll go ahead and explain the plot of this film the best I can. So, in this story, in this world, I don't know if it's supposed to take place in the future, or maybe it's present day, or at least 2013, which was the year this movie came out. But in this, it might be that, but in this world, technology is like so much better and more advanced and stuff. So, it's about this guy named Theodore, played by Joaquin Phoenix, of course. He is going through divorce, and he's depressed, of course. But then he gets an operating system, to help him out through, everything through work and even his normal day life and stuff. And it has a female voice, and it's named Samantha, and she is played by Scarlett Johansson. And I say she and not it, because it actually has a personality. Samantha has a personality. She really seems like a real person. Like, she has feelings, and yeah, that's right. She's a computer, but she has feelings, and in a sense of humor and all that, everything that a human does. So she really feels like she's human, and Theodore falls in love with her, and even she falls in love with him, and they have they're in a relationship. And a plot like that, whenever you first hear about it, about a guy who's in love with his computer, his operating system, whatever, that sounds, or his phone even, because he has like a phone too, that she's programmed on. That sounds like a weird idea for a movie, but at the same time, it also sounds interesting. And whenever you watch this movie, you forget that it's weird, because it actually doesn't. It's really not that weird. I mean, it kind of is. It has a weird idea, but no, this is actually a really good movie and a really good love story. I love love stories, and this is one of the best I've ever seen. I think this movie is pretty much a perfect movie. I thought it was, very well acted by everybody, especially Joaquin Phoenix. This is his second best performance, in my opinion, after Joker. I still like Joker better, but he is fantastic in this film. I still haven't seen Gladiator or Walk the Line yet. I will someday, but yeah, he's great, and of course Scarlett Johansson is great. I never really seen a whole lot with Scarlett Johansson. Like I still haven't seen Lost in Translation or Ghost World, which I do own, by the way. I actually got it the exact same day that I got her, so I will be doing a review for Ghost World someday. So look out for that. And I've also never seen Marriage Story, which is one of the most recent movies she's been in, and I hear she was really good in that. And I never seen the MCU films either, so I did see Iron Man 2. I think that's the only MCU film I've seen with her in it, but with Scarlett Johansson in it. But I'm not like too. I mean, of course, I know who she is and stuff, but I'm just not too familiar with her acting. You know, I haven't seen her much and stuff. So this is at least for right now, this is my favorite performance of Scarlett Johansson, even though it's just her voice. But you know, she does a great job on voice acting for sure. And everyone else too, Rooney Mara and Olivia Wilde has like one scene. And Amy Adams is also great in this film. And Chris Pratt is even in this. I'm not even a big Chris Pratt fan, but he was actually not too bad either. He was actually pretty good. It's just it's a very well acted movie, and I love the story. I love the characters. I think the directing by Spike Lee is Spike Jonze. Spike Jonze is great. But I like the writing even better. I think his script is even better. His writing, I think his writing is better than his directing. But his directing is great too. I love the cinematography. Also has it's really good cinematography, and it's a good like color grading too, in like the shots and stuff. This movie looks amazing. The score is also great. It was scored actually by Arcade Fire, and they actually just released the soundtrack CD or album. They released the soundtrack album actually this year. Like they didn't release it back whenever this movie came out in 2013 for some reason, but they did release it this year, and I would love to listen to the whole entire soundtrack because what I've heard from the movie, I really liked it. And I don't even know much about Arcade Fire. I haven't really listened to them. I think I've heard a few songs, but I haven't really listened to them. They're a band I've been meaning to check out though for a while because I've heard good things about them. And the soundtrack itself, you know, not the score, but the soundtrack itself is all right too. There is a Breeder song in this movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it's on the album titled TK, which I own on CD, and you've seen it in my CD collection video. If you've seen my CD collection video, you've seen it in there. It was a song from there. I can't remember the name of it, but whenever I was listening to it, I think even the first time I saw that movie, I recognized it, and I heard Kim Deal's voice. I'm like, oh shit, that's the Breeders. Yeah, that was pretty cool to hear the Breeders in this movie. So yeah, you know, fantastic movie, and of course, I'll say it again, like I said in the intro, this movie made me cry. No other movie has ever made me cry. I never seen a movie that made me cry. Like I've even seen Schindler's List. You know, people say that movie will for sure make you cry. It is, of course, a sad movie, but it didn't make me cry. There's been a few times where I came close to crying while watching a movie. Like, I remember the very first time I saw Chasing Amy, the Kevin Smith movie. Yes, I know it is, of course, a comedy movie because it's Kevin Smith. But actually, if you've seen the movie, it's actually kind of deep. And especially toward the end of the film, that's whenever I came close to crying. Like, it touched me. I didn't cry, but I almost did. And the other time where I came close to crying, not from a movie, but from my favorite TV show, Breaking Bad, there was a moment. I mean, I'll just say this without spoiling, just in case you never seen the show. But I did almost cry from a character's death in that show. A character I really liked in the show. Whenever that he or she died, I almost came close to crying. I not quite, but I almost did. But yeah, those two times I came close, but I still never cried while watching something until I saw Her. Yeah, the ending of this film is, oh my god, it's so emotional. I'm not gonna spoil anything, of course, but yeah. And even the first time I saw this movie, I didn't even cry. I did think it was sad, I remember, but I didn't cry. But this time, I did. I really cried. I wasn't like bawling or anything, you know. In fact, tears weren't really like rolling down, but I was. It still got me. They were still watering up, and I did cry a little. And that's never happened while watching anything, and it happened this time. So yeah, any movie that can make me cry is a masterpiece, in my opinion. So I guess I've said everything I had to say about this movie. If you haven't seen Her, I highly recommend it, especially if you love stories or stuff like that. If you think this movie's interesting, I highly recommend. But if you don't want to cry, then don't watch this movie. That's what I'll say. I mean, maybe you won't cry, but if you don't think you'll cry, then don't. I mean, then go ahead and watch the movie. But if you think you'll cry but if you don't care, then yeah, watch it. If you don't want to cry, don't watch it. But yeah, this is a very, very emotional film, and it's sad, but it's also not completely sad. There's like some good feeling moments, in the film, and it's funny at times. There's a little bit of humor in it as well. So it's not like all the way sad, but yeah. But yeah, this is an amazing film. This is now my favorite Spike Jonze movie. I think before that I liked Adaptation the best, but I like this better. This is an amazing film. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it its grade. I'm giving Her an A minus. Any movie that makes me cry gets an A. It's I think it's a masterpiece, and again, I highly recommend it. Her, A minus. Amazing film. All right, well, there we go. There's my review for Her. So, in the comments, tell me, have you seen Her? Have you not? Also, what's your favorite Spike Jonze movie? Out of the 4 he's done, of course, Her is it for me. And what's your favorite Joaquin Phoenix movie? Mine is actually Joker, but this is a close second. Alright, so please like and subscribe. As I'm recording this, unless it went down again, but I now have 30 subscribers, which I know isn't a big deal. It's still not even close to being a lot, but it does mean a lot for me because I don't get any subscribers hardly. So 30 subscribers, that's great. I thank you very much. Everybody who's been putting up with me, I thank you very much. And let's make it to 40. Come on, let's do it. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. All right. Peace.